First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall. I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go. You don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window?
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. The 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, You got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Give them an even 20 yards there on the pickup as a fake punt fooled everybody. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Set, hut, and read. Check 41. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He uncorks it for Smith. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now Watson completes this to Waring. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st down, Houston.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be battling.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Watson with a give to Miller. Fighting through, and he's got space. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And an alley to run. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ingram. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. It's Hill, complete. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check 50, check 50.
They run, it's Mark Ingram, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching?
Touchdown, Houston! Lamar Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, they start to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Jackson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now it's Watson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
It's a gain of 10.
Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now it's Miller, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
We're set. 19. Check. Line them up. Check. Line them up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So on 4th down, the Ravens will call on Sam Cook to punt it away. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season as they have taken the lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. This time Jackson will throw it. On the move to his left. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sacked. Number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. On 3rd down, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line.
That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Jackson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson being chased out left. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
1st down and 10 yards to go.
Flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That's on the Pro Bowl guard, Marshall Yanda. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
4 yards on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
2nd down at the 16-yard line.
Ready. Touchdown. You want this.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 16.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Check. Crouch.
And Jackson throwing once more. Steps. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Result of the play, 1st down and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. They'll run it again with Miller. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Watson. Over the middle here to Brown. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 41-yard line.
Get wide. Hey, check.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Hey, we got 4 down.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And look at this, another fake. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down carry now for Miller. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. To throw is Watson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 20 points down.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Here we go.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kahale Waring, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's third down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
Baltimore, first down.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brings up second and
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
intended for Marquise Brown. Incomplete. Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Now Jackson on third down. Out to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 23 yards on the play.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Lamar Miller. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Again, it's Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Barkevius Mingo, the former number 6 pick.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Big hold to the 30. They find some open field here. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 82 yards, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Miller. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Come on, man. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Back at the 22-yard line.
The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, 88 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Ravens 35. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Watson going to give this one to Miller. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore,
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame it on Gino. Smells like the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish these well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat women good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself.